Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of Ambush on Air. I'm your host, Sam Bush, and as always, bringing you fun, quality content all around sales, partnerships, and marketing in the Microsoft space. So today I've got a special one for you. We are gearing up for some really exciting things. So I brought Giuseppe on to do a little intro of himself, and then we'll get into our chat today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sam. Everybody, Giuseppe Ianni here. Yes, I am the VP Community Director of Activations here at Dynamic Community, and I'm focused on helping partners in the community get engagement out of users and help make their experience that much better at any of our events across our platform.
Yeah. So today we are talking specifically about the biggest event of the year that happens for us in the Microsoft channel, and that is Summit North America, or Community Summit North America, full name. We are 47 days away already. 47 days, which to me is kind of insane because I just realized I didn't book my flight yet. My hotel is locked and loaded. I'm staying at the Gaylord. Come hell or high water, I will be there.
There you go. That's the most important part, right? Yeah, you can get there
Exactly.
one way or another. You just need somewhere to stay.
Yeah, and you need to stay at the conference hotel. I feel like you miss out on so much if you can't be there. I'm such a big proponent of like the minute that booking link comes out, I'm the first person on it. Check the stats. It's usually me.
You have to be. The first 10 minutes, I think, is the most critical time. But yeah, I think there's a
Exactly.
lot of networking, obviously, that happens, as you know.
Yeah.
You see a lot of it going on in or outside of the expo hours as well.
Yeah. I've found a lot of jobs in those moments, which you guys know I recently got laid off, so I'm on the hunt again. So that networking time will be critical to me, potentially, unless something happens before then, which stay tuned.
Yeah, and
uh,
what better way to get yourself in front of 5 or 6,000 people, right? Having those conversations.
exactly. Exactly. Okay, so a couple things that I haven't talked about a ton yet are two pre-conference days. So Dynamic Communities does a fabulous job of getting us all together in a room to really understand and analyze the state of what's going on in Microsoft and really how those things play into our roles. So there are two new ones this year. We had one last year, and this we kind of retooled for a couple of things, but now we have two. So Giuseppe, why don't you give us a high level on what's going on Sunday the 19th
Yeah, so we're
of October?
producing a pair of events, Sam. Yeah, I think thanks for calling attention to this, right? I think we see a need in the market, and oftentimes Dynamic Communities feels a need to bring things to market to pull people together, right? Because we're all
Mm-hmm.
about the users in the community. The GP to BC Precon will be occurring Sunday, October 19th from 8:30 to 4:30 at the Gaylord Palms and Coastal A. So this is a separate event outside of Community Summit. It's something
Mm-hmm.
that we pulled together working very strategically with a handful of partners in the community that have an
Yeah.
interest and experience level with GP holistically. So the day is going to be focused on how we can create vision. And we've really curated a program that is going to deliver insights directly from Microsoft executives and product
Mm-hmm.
experts. We're going to talk about some case studies. We'll talk about some migration stories and really help people who are on-premise GP today to understand the difference of how they can migrate over to something like Business Central, and also hear from relevant ISVs in the community who are helping them with their organizational change management and to set proper business requirements and what role AI plays. So it's a little bit of everything in that overall day for GP to
Yeah.
BC.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I know the contention conversation of GP going away in the last 5 years has always been like the hot topic on the street as soon as we get to Summit. And now, like me personally, I'm sick of hearing about it and I want to start seeing people migrate, right? I
Yep.
talk to so many VARs, especially in my job hunt, that are like, well, we still have a community base of, tens of thousands of GP users. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like the potential there for you to scale is so ripe and ready. So I'm excited. I will actually not be in this room because I want to be in the other room, which is the partner enablement day. So this one is new as well.
Yeah, the partner enablement workshop, right, is a full day again. It's going on Sunday. It's going to be 8:20 to 6:15. I think we're still figuring out what room it's going to be in, but it's a full
Mhm.
day partner only pre-conference workshop, right? And it's
Yeah.
built specifically for SIs, VARs, ISVs, SDCs, isn't it? You can call them nowadays, right? And it's going to
Yeah.
focus on sales, marketing, and alliances professionals. And that's why we've asked people like yourselves to come in and help really set the tone for what type of insights and practical guidance can we get from the community to help us all be more proficient in our
Yeah.
jobs.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this day. I was at the BizApp Summit sitting, well, everyone was flying out that evening. I was staying another night, and I ended up sitting down at a table with Joe and Scott May and a couple of others, and we were talking just about this overall need to talk as VARs, ISVs, SIs, all together on scaling these growth programs using AI. We have talked so much about AI at the high level from the Microsoft lens, which is being customer zero and figuring out how to be a premier or a frontier partner, really. But we haven't done a ton of activating the education. They're in small micro doses, right? They're in a couple of sessions each day, and you kind of run from here to there. But this day really is set up to, if you are in sales or marketing or like any sort of level of alliances, this is a great thing to come to. And honestly, I think it's still on sale. Yeah, it's still on sale until the 12th. So get in there and get the ticket the cheapest that you can because the value is going to be there. I'm really excited, and I get to nerd out about AI with you guys for I think like 45 minutes. So, 30, even better. You know, I like to talk fast. But it's going to be a great day.
Yeah, I think we're excited about again both of the days and coming together because, like you said, I think there's definitely a need in the market. There's people who
Hmm.
want that education, they want that guidance, they want to understand how they can adopt new AI technology,
Yeah,
um, and again, be part of that kind of frontier firm forward path. So I
yeah.
think whether it is on the growth side, the marketing, or the alliance side, there's going to be a lot for partners who are already coming to this event to
Hmm.
jump in and get a little bit of additional training to take away on top of all that great business and networking that's going to
Yeah.
happen the rest of the week with Community Summit.
Exactly. I think for me, the session I'm most excited about on that day is Joe from Neural Impact is going to be doing a turn AI opportunities into revenue. This is like every VAR needs to have their butt in the seat, right? This is like the whole conversation that Microsoft is asking you to have with your prospects. So for an hour, you get to pick his brain, listen to the ins and outs of Neural Impact. I think this is going to be a great day.
Yeah, they're a great organization. It was one we kind of targeted to and wanting to pull into the community to hear from and kind of guide the
Yeah,
audience. I think, personally, I'm also excited to hear from John and Cecilia
totally.
from Microsoft coming in talking about customer zero and how organizations can better align themselves and focus on the customer in the end, but have that
Yeah.
come from inside out. And really excited to hear that as well.
Yeah, yeah. This is just the conference is set up to be days and days of education and just banger after banger. We're going to be exhausted by the end. Our
Oh,
brains are going to be so full, like always. Okay, so community summit this year. Couple of different things. First of all, we're back in the Gaylord, which I love being back. Best space for this. It just fits us like really nicely.
think it does, right? It's a good size. It has enough space, but it's still intimate. And again, this
Hmm.
is fresh off a complete like retro fit from their end. So I think that happened over the holidays, right? They
Yeah,
gutted the entire place, which is really great. So we're coming in to a fresh and clean Gaylord as
love it.
well, which is exciting. And for us, the new messaging as we come into Community Summit this year is pulling together the 4 points of light, being the creators, the sellers, the buyers, and the users. And as we look at dynamic communities, bringing all four of these together in Community Summit, right? It's really important for us to understand that you can come, you can get the education, you
Yeah,
can get the networking, you have a surplus of learning going on with 600 plus sessions, right? There's a little bit of something for everybody, but
yeah.
you being able, to your point, to socialize with a bunch of different types of users in the community.
Yeah, yeah. I almost forgot to mention the academy classes because those start even earlier. So those start on the 18th. So we're
Yep.
really just piling it in. Is there anything new, different, fun that we should chat about for Summit? Because I think there's a couple.
Yeah, I mean, there's always stuff that we're trying to do. I would say to stay ahead of the trade show kind of community. But this year, we're really excited to introduce a handful of activations on the show floor. So we've introduced a pickleball court, an axe throwing, an arcade. We have the puppy booth snuggles kind of coming back,
Always.
which is really cool. We have a golf sim. We have some headshots being taken. So there's some more engaging type activities that are going to be going on the overall show floor this year that should help mix up the monotony of users coming out, to your point, being really crushed with a lot of information and content that they're looking for, with the ability to have a little bit of downtime and take a brain
Yeah.
break and just nerd out on stuff like a classic Pac-Man arcade.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I've been practicing my skills. True Commerce has a game at their booth as well. And I'm like, I will win. Okay. I need to win something right now, and it's going to be a video game. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I think my favorite part about Summit is even with activations and with like everything that's going on, the energy in the room every time is just all the way up. Everybody is motivated to learn, motivated to meet, motivated to chat, and just high energy. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think and again, this year attendance is looking great from an overall event standpoint. I think
Good.
our sponsors have really engaged heavily this year, both from a traditional partner to ISV, right? We rolled out an MVP program this
Mhm.
year, or I should say a VIP program this year. And the VIP program was focused around how do we make the experience for the end user that much better for our
Yep.
sponsors in the community, which has been really well adopted by a good chunk of partners in the community. We're looking forward to bringing that to life this year, and even bringing that into next year's community summit to make
Yep.
it an even bigger and better program. I mentioned MVP. We are doing an MVP reception on Monday night as well to kind of give back to those in the community that are doing a whole lot for it, which
Awesome.
is also going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. The other thing I'm excited about, and it's purely like a little selfish, is that I'm speaking at it as well. But the Women in Tech Luncheon, we're revamping it this year. It's 7 speakers, 7 minutes, and then some roundtables. And I am so excited for the change. I know if you've listened to this podcast before, you guys know I'm a little bit of a like women in tech, blah, blah, which I know is hard to hear sometimes, but I think this new pivot comes at a great time.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
people are excited about it. I've been getting emails about it too, and I'm really excited to have Pam from our team also leading that
Yeah.
and working with great resources like yourself. And I think that that's the thing about women in tech sometimes is it takes some trailblazers to kind of put themselves out there to showcase this to other women that this is a great thing you can be doing and participating in and
Yeah.
driving to again open up more advocates in the community too. So
Yeah.
really like this kind of jump on board, make it bigger, make it better, and
Yeah.
continue to build it. So it'll be another good one this year.
It will. We've got a good variety of speakers, and I'm like lucky that I know most of them. And I'm like, we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna have so much fun. And I think the conversation of women in tech that I want to make sure moves forward is this idea of creating ladders for women in technology and not focusing on so many of the here's this horrible thing that happened to me as a woman and it only happened to me because I'm a woman. Moving away from those conversations and into like flipping the script on some of the positive and how we can create these runways together. So I'm very excited.
No, very powerful. And again, like you said, like this is a great forum. I mean, you have several thousand people that are going to be together and getting as many of
Mhm.
these women as we can together to talk about these stories, to share their feedback, to share the blazing path forward that you guys are doing.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really great.
Yeah. I'm excited as always. I know on Thursday when that wraps up at what, 3 p.m. or so? 1 p.m.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, gets me every time. At that point, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm ready to go home, but I
Take your
can't
shoes
fly
off.
yet. Exactly. Exactly. So, oh man. Well, anything else about Summit we should be aware of or excited about? Any tips for prepping for Summit?
Yeah, I mean, we did put together a sponsor success packet
Hmm.
that is available in the MYS portal. So for any sponsors who are listening into this, there is a great packet that Dynamic Communities put together. Those who have looked at it, I've met with probably two-thirds of the sponsors overall and walked through this packet. But the ones who
Awesome.
haven't ever seen it, it's something really great. Dig for it, find it inside of the portal. But a lot of great tips and tricks to your point, Sam. It talks about the audience overall attending Community Summit.
Perfect.
This isn't stuff that we really disclosed before, but you look at 10% of the people that come to Community Summit every year are evaluating a purchase or an investment in Microsoft Dynamics, whereas 15% are looking to migrate off some type of legacy on-premise technology to something more cloud. You have another chunk of the audience who's looking to optimize their investment, typically around 45%. They've been on Dynamics for some time. And you look at another 20% or so that is sitting out there. They've implemented, they're about 12 to 18 months old in their buying cycle or their cycle using Dynamics, and they're looking to see what's next. And it's a really interesting breakdown of people who come to this event each and every year and what they're looking to do. But I think that helps, to your point, create the right messaging for the audience that you want to capture based on whatever the products or services that you guys are selling.
Yeah. Exactly, exactly. My big takeaway for everybody listening is use the show planner. It really helped me last year. Normally, I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants and make sure I go to my sessions and my friends. But last year, I actually put together like a real schedule for myself. And I feel like I gained so much more out of it because I was structured and not so like go with the wind.
Yep.
So highly recommend that. It's available to you with your registration.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think as you look at that, the filters on the site are really strong too. That's been something
Hmm.
that I know takes a little bit more time in the setup and build as we capture all these sessions and
Yeah.
take through all the submissions. Is you can target it to the product that you're running. You can target it to your experience level. You can target it maybe even to an industry. So there's great ways to filter through 600 plus sessions and get it down to maybe the 30 or 40 that are hyper relevant and you want to grab.
Yeah, yeah. Or filter by speaker. I know there's a couple speakers that I'd love to go to their sessions because I learn something every time, even if I've heard the session before. Like Sean Dorward, every time he does an AI session, I still learn something, and I'm like, how funny because I've seen this before, right? But it's because I go everywhere that he goes. But it's such a fun way to plan the schedule, so highly recommend.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that's a good point.
All right. Well, as we close up, any final thoughts, any deadlines we need to think about?
I know we have a price change here in the next 4 days for baseline
What is that?
registration from Community Summit. Off the baseline rate, if you reach out to a partner or a sponsor, you should be
Mhm.
able to get a 10% off code from any sponsor in the community if you're looking to attend to save a little bit of cash. Saves you about $200 right now on your overall registration. So everybody always needs that extra cash. Maybe that's the difference in a nice dinner while at Community Summit. So,
Exactly. Exactly. Nice dinner at the Gaylord for sure.
yep. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, Giuseppe, thank you so much for joining today. And as always, appreciate your work in the community and all that you do to help get us together.
No, it's a great community. I'm happy to be a part of it. So thanks for having me on, Sam.
Yeah, for sure. And everybody that's listening, as always, party on. Thanks for coming. Bye.